There's a certain kind of food that doesn't just get eaten, it gets challenged. The kind people hesitate over, lean in to smell, and then dare each other to try. In Japan, one dish has quietly earned that reputation, not because it's trendy or extreme on purpose, but because its flavor, texture, and smell feel completely unfamiliar to many people encountering it for the first time. That dish is called Shiokara, and today's question is a simple one with a surprisingly deep history behind it. How did it become Japan's ultimate dare food? To answer that, we need to look past the shock factor and trace its roots through survival, preservation, and centuries of Japanese food culture. Right here, on History of Simple Things. Shiokara is not a single recipe but a category of fermented seafood dishes, most commonly made with squid. The seafood is chopped into small pieces and mixed with a paste created from its own salted internal organs, resulting in a thick, sticky mixture with an intensely salty and umami-heavy flavor. Its appearance is often glossy and brownish, and its aroma can be strong enough to surprise first-time tasters. Unlike sushi or sashimi, Shiokara isn't meant to highlight freshness or subtlety. Instead, it concentrates flavor through fermentation, creating something bold and lingering that is usually eaten in very small amounts, often paired with rice or alcohol. Understanding what Shiokara is on a basic level already explains why it feels intimidating to people unfamiliar with fermented seafood traditions. The origins of Shiokara are closely tied to Japan's early need for food preservation, especially in coastal communities. Long before refrigeration, salt was one of the most reliable ways to prevent spoilage, and fermentation became a natural extension of that process. References to salted and fermented fish organs appear in Japanese writings as early as the Heian period, though the word Shiokara itself became more standardized during the Edo period. These early forms weren't designed to be delicacies, they were practical solutions that allowed people to store protein for long periods. Over time, the techniques were refined, passed down through regions, and adapted to local seafood availability, embedding Shiokara into Japan's broader fermentation culture, alongside foods like miso, soy sauce, and pickles. Shiokara endured because it worked. The heavy use of salt slowed bacterial growth, while enzymes from the seafood's viscera broke down proteins into amino acids, creating deep umami flavors during fermentation. This process could take weeks or months depending on conditions and regional preferences. For fishing communities, Shiokara allowed them to use parts of the catch that might otherwise go to waste, reinforcing a culture of minimizing waste and maximizing resources. Its long shelf life made it especially valuable during winters or lean seasons. Even as Japan modernized, the knowledge and appreciation for this preservation method remained, helping Shiokara survive long past the era when it was strictly necessary. As refrigeration became widespread, foods like Shiokara were no longer essential for survival, but they didn't disappear. Instead, Shiokara shifted into a cultural role. It became a familiar side dish in izakayas, where its strong saltiness paired well with sake or beer. Regional varieties gained recognition, and some communities treated their local Shiokara styles as culinary heritage. This shift transformed Shiokara from a practical food into an intentional one, something people chose because they liked its intensity. At the same time, its flavor remained divisive, even within Japan, reinforcing the idea that Shiokara was something you had to learn to enjoy. Shiokara's reputation as a dare food largely emerged through cultural contrast. As Japanese cuisine became globally popular, international audiences encountered Shiokara without the historical or cultural context that explains it. Fermented viscera, strong aromas, and sticky textures challenged expectations shaped by milder seafood dishes. Media portrayals, travel shows, and online food challenges further framed Shiokara as something extreme. Even within Japan, it's often introduced with warnings about its intensity. The dare aspect doesn't come from danger or novelty, but from how far it sits outside many people's comfort zones, turning a traditional dish into a test of openness and curiosity. Today, Shiokara occupies a unique place in Japanese food culture. It's respected as a traditional fermented dish, enjoyed by those who appreciate strong flavors, while also functioning as a cultural litmus test for adventurous eaters. Modern producers sometimes adjust fermentation times or seasoning to soften the flavor, while others preserve traditional methods exactly. For visitors, trying Shiokara often becomes a deliberate choice, not just to taste it, but to engage with a part of Japan's culinary history that hasn't been simplified for mass appeal. In this way, Shiokara continues to connect past and present, tradition and curiosity. Shiokara didn't become Japan's ultimate dare food by accident. Its intensity is the result of centuries of practical knowledge shaped by preservation needs, regional traditions, and a deep respect for fermentation. What once sustained coastal communities now challenges modern palates, especially those unfamiliar with its context. Yet behind the shock factor lies a story of resourcefulness, continuity, and cultural identity. Shiokara reminds us that food isn't just about comfort or familiarity. It's also about history, adaptation, and the willingness to experience flavors shaped by another time and place. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.